Onyxx, what's happening? Welcome to Lokshin Loud.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. Yeah, how are you?
I'm good, man. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good.
So, what is your creative process like? What happens in your brain like when you hear a beat? Or does a creative process start even with the beat? Does it start before the beat? Is it something you wrote before?
Yeah.
And then you turn what you wrote, which is probably poetry, into melody, which is music? Or do you just have to wake up at a certain time or on a certain day that you know, Ubana, you're gonna connect with a certain frequency that's just gonna give you all this music without even having to write it?
Yeah.
Like we all have different strokes, as
For
the
different
artists.
folks.
Yeah, for different folks. I didn't want to say that, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So what is yours? Like, how do you do it?
Yeah. Okay, truthfully, with the way that you asked me that it differs for every scenario.
Yeah,
Like for every scenario, I could literally have a 6 month writing
block
thing,
type vibe.
like no writing like thing in me, writing
Outflow.
power in me, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'll just write. I'll hear choruses. I don't fully hear like the whole entire song.
Yeah.
I'll just hear
You don't hear the
choruses.
verses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I only hear the verses, and if I do hear a full
choruses.
song, yeah, I mean, yeah,
I
the
get
choruses.
you,
Thank
yeah.
you. And if I do hear like the verses, it's probably like a beat that Abel has played, and in that beat, I think what I like about Abel is that he understands that I when I sing I breathe,
Yeah.
and like he adds breath into the beat itself now, so it makes it easier for me to be like, I don't know how I can say breath, I don't know what breath is,
Yeah.
but now and it has like that thing that drives me to be like,
Yeah.
oh wow, I can have so many like harmonies in this, and I can have so many
Yeah.
like lines
Like
here that I can,
space,
and
you know.
spaces that I can just go into and make it also ethereal and airy,
That's
and then
dope.
there's other places where I can just be like, okay, we're just freestyling right now.
Yeah.
Something, if I hear that beat, I'm like, oh damn, like okay, it's making me feel like, then I go by like feeling or whatever emotional. If I see or I relive a memory that a friend of mine had, and I'm like, okay, let me infuse that in this song,
Yeah.
and then that's how I do it. But that's why I said it goes for different scenarios. I don't know really which one works for me. I'm just grateful that they work.
Yeah, you have different strokes for different
Yeah.
days, different songs,
Literally.
different flows. So Abel is that your producer?
Yeah, Able Beats, God is Able. Shout out to you.
Shout out
Thank
to God
you.
is Able. Shout out,
Ayo,
you
yeah.
seemingly are able.
Yeah.
And with the breaths, like I just want to go into the breaths because that's kind of interesting. Like, do you mean the breaths like when you? Because one thing as a sound engineer, what a lot of guys do is when someone like when they're working on a vocal, and there are actual breaths in it. When someone is actually breathing.
Yeah.
In the industry, a lot of people like deep breathe it. Like
Yeah.
they take away the breaths, they cut that shit out. Like, and sometimes the breath is part of the melody or the breath.
Yeah.
You exhaling or inhaling or
part of-
just that sound or that mouth movement that they are trying to make it sound like, maybe package it sonically, but it kind of adds to the tempo of the thing.
Yeah.
Are you talking about that or?
No, like
Or you talking about umoya?
Yeah, just like umoya, like he just-
the energy of
yeah,
it. I
like
get you.
when he produces, I feel like he adds a bit of himself into it,
Oh,
where
yeah.
like most people just like make beats to make beat for that person, and then they just make it for you.
Yeah.
But it's like we are collaborating.
It's kind of like
in
it's
this.
for them too.
Yeah, and also
Like-
it's like I take music as an intimacy thing. It's
Yeah.
like I'm literally breathing in you. Like I'm breathing in every single like time beat that you were in. I'm breathing
Yeah.
whatever like key that you were in, because even like the keys say something else. Like a C is like a nice middle note, and it could
Yeah.
go both ways. It could go sad, or it can go like very
The
happy.
frequency, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then like different, an E or an F or what, a G, and
The minors
those,
and all of that,
So those could all like impact like how they feel, which is that breath element that I mean, like with that moya breath. So like even
I get
Naye,
you now.
in that he's like, okay, he felt, and I feel like I can feel the presence of him in that state when he was making that beat.
I get you.
So that's what
you can feel him
Yeah.
basically expressing himself.
Yeah, you
but
know?
with him expressing himself, he doesn't overly express himself that it doesn't leave room. He doesn't leave
Yeah.
room for you to move in.
Yes.
He leaves those pockets for you to just pull up
Yeah.
with that right harmony, with that right
it's
pip,
like
you know what I
we
mean?
we
Yeah.
really like and Yasman, but we intimately like intertwined, like
we-
musically we intertwined, and that's very few.
Sonically or intimately?
No, sonically, but like sonically as in like
I'm playing. I was just...
Ooh, girl, don't get me in trouble
Hey,
now.
hey.
Don't get me in trouble now, please. Hey,
Yeah, I'm playing. Yeah.
But yeah, I know he is. But yeah, like, and Yasman, like, I take music as like a relationship as well,
Yeah.
like, cause and Yasman, you yourself, you play with gumption, you play with heart, you play with a certain emotion through your notes, you know.
Yeah.
And now as you,
It's a language.
now as you starting the song, you know, yes, there's a middle and a beginning and an end, but in between those middle, beginning, and ends, there's some sort of like thing that evokes in you. It could be like, oh, okay, now we started this sentence, but from this like sentence, I feel kind of like hesitant, you know, an emotion of hesitation. Then in this, okay, I'm feeling answered here, so I feel happy. And then in this point or in this part, I feel confusion. Did we conclude the sentence, or have we just left it open? You know. So then now I get in there as like the vocalist to be like, let me answer those gaps for you, you know. And it's just like a language, like a nice intimate collaboration.
There's basically like that fluidity between both you guys, you know.
Yeah.
So what else induces your creative juices besides music? Or is music the only thing? We don't have shame if it's just the only thing.
No,
know?
it definitely is not.
Let's hear about that.
Definitely it's not. The sub. Okay, I want to say sub ones building into this main big one.
Okay.
So sub ones are reading. I like reading, and I like reading like fan fictions. I started reading like Wattpad. Yeah, scary. Scary things in there, I'm not gonna lie. But I started reading Wattpad, and then I was like, oh wow, like I actually like reading. Then I started and then music obviously was a part of it.
It's like watching a series.
Yeah, it's like watching
But you get to produce it too.
Exactly.
Because you're seeing it in your mind. Yeah, I get you.
And the way that they described, I think that's also kind of like what, like, is another thing that makes, or like impacts me, is the way that they describe scenes, or they describe like the position that person is in. So it could be a position of struggle, it could be a position of like fighting against something, it could be a position of longing for someone, you know. But just how they describe it in even the day, like people can just take like, okay, it's a sunny day. But then in books, it's like
descriptive.
It's so descriptive. It's like the birds were chirping, and from that, the rays of the golden
there was
sun,
a cocktail of smoke.
Yeah. So
you
then,
know, like damn, a cocktail of smoke. So
what
it's
is that?
How many smokes are in there?
In there, yeah, you know.
It's
so
a lot of smoke.
It's just rotation. It's rotation. You know, rotation and cigars, bro. But yeah, like even in that, and then that kind of built up into my love, and kind of what ultimately affected or even induced more my creativity is film. So film, I'm at after now. I'm doing my honors.
So you're a film student too?
Yeah, I'm a film student
That's
too.
dope.
Yeah,
Shout out to you, man.
Thanks, man.
Because you're already making sonic films.
You know, come on now. Now I just need to do them visually.
Yeah.
So even that, and then I saw how in film the stories that I had envisioned in my head could be brought to life, and I could tell even more, because now there's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 other people that have read the same story that I've read.
Yeah.
And we kind of similarly have the same ideas, but we don't. And that's the beauty of it, you know?
That's the beautiful gap.
Yeah, that's a beautiful gap, which also makes it nice for me as an artist to kind of see how each person creates and formulates that picture in their brain,
Yeah.
you know? And then I'll be like, oh, wow, like, okay, I can use that scenario and how you played with that in answering me. Sometimes, guys, I might be bad for this. Like, oh my God, I might be bad for this. I will sometimes even poke like the person-ish to kind of get like a reaction of you so that I can see like an end result, the conclusion, because you haven't given me a conclusion yet
Yeah.
into how you would like finish off interacting with me or finish off like not an argument with me but a discussion with me or
Or
something
even
like that.
just like poking to get the realness
Yeah, you
of
know?
you. Let's just shed
Eh,
off
Susa.
the PR,
Yeah.
Susi PR. Like let's just get straight to Susi Tonga. Yeah, get
And
you
then
with you.
from there, I get like my creative juices in basically my music, and then that's how all of those things gel.
So that's how all those mediums
Yeah.
end up collapsing together and
Even
they create.
painting.
You
I
also
like
paint.
painting. Yeah, I like
So
painting.
you also
and-
visually
and draw. Yeah,
Wait, are you left-handed or right-handed?
I'm right-handed.
You're right-handed.
Yeah.
Damn, you have so many pockets. I think I told you part.
Yeah.
Or some.
Listen,
Yeah,
I'm a graphic designer as
Usually
well.
people are left-handed. I'm right-handed, so a lot of like Steve, one of the guys who shoots. The guy
Shout
who
out
shoots
to you,
our shit,
Steve.
not one of the guys, the guy, the main
Shout
guy
out
who shoots
Steve.
our
Shout
shit.
out Steve.
You know, he's a left-handed, and you know you can tell. You can tell he's left-handed. You know, so if you said you were left-handed, I was gonna be like, alright, I can tell.
bet.
I
Yeah,
can tell.
makes sense now. No,
I don't know, man. Left-handed people have that special thing, you know.
Listen.
As much as back in the day, before like where we at now, people used to be like, it's like a bad thing. But now
Yeah.
people are saying that they're
Y'all are gonna
fucking
die
creative.
earlier
you
than
guys
us.
are fucking creative. They die earlier.
Y'all are gonna die earlier than us. That's on period.
Is that is
That's
that
not true.
statistically?
It's not true.
Hey man. Hey, we need a fact. We need a fact checker here. We need a
Yeah,
fact
we need a
checker
fact.
actually.
So in 10
Hey,
years' time,
hey.
let's see who's gonna call
You
who.
just did that. Hey, it's good.
It's good. I long live Pata Pata
But what if
nigga.
Jubeli Pata is kind of right-handed?
Pata Pata
But he
nigga,
can
you know?
eat.
He's left-handed, and then at school they forced him to use his right hand, so now he uses both.
He's
Damn.
ambidextrous.
He changes. He can't take ambiguous.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
ambidextrous.
So he changes.
Yeah.
Plays with the right.
But yeah,
hand,
man.
changes and plays with
So like,
That's crazy.
before we jump out and we hop out and we, you know,
We
before we
skedaddle.
like, we call it like it's a rapio.
Yeah.
I just want to ask this question, Yobana. What would you tell anyone who's back there at home, you know, who is as gifted as you are? You know,
Yeah.
they're like, okay, I'm with this music thing. I get these bars in my mind. I be chilling in class. They trying to get me to do the maths, but like I'm
Hey,
just getting bars in my
yo.
mind. You know,
That was a bar, though. That was a bar, though.
You know what I mean?
I just learned in class. I got this
doing this math, but I got these bars in my mind. You
Yeah.
know, they trying to get me to take down these notes, but I got these poems that I keep writing at the back side of the notebook. Like, what would you tell that person? Like, how can they get it started? How can they get their gift going? Like, you got it going. Like, how can they get in their
Yeah.
stride?
I mean, listen, there comes a point where school begins and it ends, right? It's a time frame of you go from not to grade 12,
Yeah.
and then you're done. Then you go to university for 3 years, you do your thingy, and then you're done, right?
Yeah.
Then what are you going to do after that? The thing that is within you, music, the thing that literally rings in your ear, why are you
Yeah.
going to starve that for something that just ends? It has a time limit.
Oh, I've never
You know?
heard that. Something
Yeah.
that's so temporary.
Yeah, you're gonna stop something that's so temporary. Like, carry on doing that, yes. No one's saying stop doing that.
Yeah.
But also keep in mind that the thing that is ringing your brain, it's always gonna ring in your brain, no matter how
Yeah.
old you are. Like, my dad is 63 years old. You can never tell. That nigga's a G. But
Yeah.
just saying, you know, but like my dad, like he will literally, sometimes he's like so like cooled out about like me trying to learn so many instruments, you know,
Yeah.
and he was like, damn, my uncle forced me to go to technical school, to go to like to be a mechanic, to be this and this.
Yeah.
But nah, I wanted to just do like drama and this, but at that time you couldn't. But me, I'm like,
Hey, apartheid.
Yeah, you know?
We're going to apartheid. Nina.
yes, I see. Yes,
So
I
you
see.
motherfuckers know.
Yes, I see.
I'm talking to the 2Ks.
Yeah. Damn, you're talking to me basically.
Yeah, but I'm talking to the other ones.
Danny, that's okay. Because I know 1999, me nangazi.
Yeah, I know. Nina.
1999. I don't know about you guys.
I also don't know. I was born like just after, but I ain't gonna say none though.
Exactly. So like even like that nigga like inspired me to be like, oh okay, like I can just do this. So now we're like my dad will literally I have a ukulele at home. My dad bought me a piano.
A ukulele. Is that small guitar
that
thing?
Small, yeah, that small
that
guitar.
shit they play in Hawaii.
Yeah.
You have it at Mama?
I have it right here in my car, bro. Like even I say Mama, they even look at me like weirdly. But like my dad told me to always like go for something because he was stopped from achieving some of his things. So now I feel like I'm just there to be like, okay, do it. But for you guys, I say you guys sing in your closets, right? And you guys sing in your bedrooms, showers, whatnot.
Yeah.
Just take that, dress nicely, and just go and perform it. Noba ume a bus stop, wherever you literally standing.
Take up
wherever
space.
You're standing, that's your stage.
Yeah,
that's
take
literally
up
a
space.
stage. Me standing right here, can be looking there at that painting, but that painting is a face right there. That painting can literally, I don't know, tell something to somebody else that I was just singing about, and I didn't know that, but it translated that. But
that's what
we just
he
had
did.
but it's just like a nice space. So I feel like you guys, if you have the talent and you want it, bro, just go for it. What's
Take
stopping
up
you?
space. I feel like what I got from you is
Take up
that
space.
You must just take up space. Occupy a space and do what you do. You can occupy space in your living room now. Take out your phone and shoot whatever you're doing. Post that shit. Then we live. You can do whatever you want to do. But yeah, man, whatever it is, just dollar what you got to dollar. And nothing, thank you, Onyxx, for pulling up
problem.
to Lokshin Loud. Unfortunately, time is not on my side. But it is what it is. We're here for a good time, but we're also here for a long time.
Yeah.
We out.
Thank you. Thank you guys so much.
Hey.